Hello, everybody of O'Brien Subaru. This is Deanna, your coach with Phone Ninjas, and today I'm going to be reviewing with you your reporting for the month of October. All right, so getting started here overall, 3.30. That's really great. We saw a little bit of a dip from last month, so we really just want to continue to focus on getting everyone to that 3.0. So specifically, Eric, Christina, and Eric Mock. So I will reach out to all three of them today about pre-scheduling some one-on-ones where we can role play the script and practice the script. And I gave the team a little bit of a break from the one-on-ones, but what I did was we just coached a lot more calls last month, so we will jump back into those one-on-ones this month so that everyone's getting that one-on-one time. We had quite a few one-on-ones over the past couple months, and so I just wanted to make sure I wanted to give them a little bit of space, give them a little bit of extra coaching, but we will jump back into those this week. So yeah, I will pre-schedule some one-on-ones with Eric, and Christina. We really want to get them towards that 3.0, and as a team we want to focus on the selling the appointment step and the closure step. So with selling the appointment, we want to ask with authority by saying, when are you available? And we want to give the customer either or options to choose from. We want to ask for the appointment more than once, and then we want to try to set up a tentative appointment time. And at the very least, we want to set the expectation that we're going to follow up with the customer. Also, the direction step, that is the easiest thing to do on every call between the greeting and directions. We want to make sure on every call that we are making sure the customer knows where the dealership is located, whether they set an appointment or not. And then the last thing I want us to focus on is the closure step. So this is where we want to ask if they have a pencil available, and then without telling them what they're writing down, we just want to start spelling our last names, then give them our first name, then our direct dial number. We also want to use the correct technique to ask for the customer's email address. So we want to use a close-ended formatted question. We want to give the customer either or options to choose from and say, I'm going to send you some information to your email. Should I send that to your home or your work email address? And then if an appointment set, we want to reconfirm that appointment and remind them to call if they're running early or running late. And right now, you guys are at about a 40% appointment setting rate. That's not too bad. We want to get you guys up to a 60%. That's what we're looking for. We had quite a few calls, but we had a lot of appointments set. So Adriana set 7 out of 14. Michaela set 6 out of 12. Ashley set, it looks like 5 appointments out of 8. Eric set, it looks like maybe 1 or 2 appointments, so we want to get this percentage up. And Christina set 2 out of 4, which isn't bad. And then Eric didn't set any appointments. He just had 1 call. But he did review the call, which is great. Christina has all 4 of her calls from last month that need to be reviewed. Eric, Ashley, Michaela, and Adriana have reviewed most of their calls. They just have a little bit of work to do. But I like that they are incorporating reviewing calls into their routines. In addition to reviewing calls in a timely manner, we also want to make sure that we're maintaining our certifications. So in general, everyone's looking pretty good here in green or blue, except for Christina. We want to make sure that she is going back and reviewing calls. And again, I'll pre-schedule a one-on-one with her, and we can cover some of this stuff with her on that one-on-one. All right, so let's take a look real quick before we look at. Actually, let's look at mystery shops before we move forward, and then we'll look at service a little bit later. Now with mystery shops 2.60, not bad. We still have a few that need to be reviewed here. And what we want to do, the phone time's looking pretty good. Email response in general is pretty good. There's probably just a couple small tweaks like with the email quality specifically, like including your dealership name in the subject line, having a complete email signature, things like that. That's what impacts the email quality. So we just want to make sure that we are reviewing all of these mystery shops. They're still hanging out there, so that we're getting that feedback, and then we can then apply it so that our mystery shops start looking a little bit better. Again, just like with the calls, we want this to be above a 3.0. All right, so real quick, let's look at our reporting. For dealership ranked by score, so out of about 314 dealerships, you guys are ranked number 87, not bad. Remember, we have our top 4 dealership contest, so every month we take our top 4 dealerships, put them into a drawing, and then at the end of the year, so in January, we're going to pick a name from the hat, and that dealership will win a trip to Hawaii paid for by Phone Ninjas. The GM can take it, you can give it to an MVP, but for the actual sales reps, we do have the perfect score contest, and I know that some of the folks on your team have qualified. Chuck, Michaela, a few people have qualified for this already. We're a little bit behind for quarter 3 in doing the drawing, but every time someone gets a perfect score, we put a name in a hat, and then at the end of the quarter, we pick a name from a hat, and that individual wins a trip to Hawaii paid for by Phone Ninja. So you guys have a couple entries, but this is a really big incentive for your team. All right, so before we wrap up here, I do want to make sure that we are looking at our service calls. In general, looking really good. As a team, we just need to focus on this closure step. Chuck knocks it out of the park almost every single time. He has perfect scores, I would say 90% of the time, which is why his score is so high. So we just want to keep working on that, but the biggest thing here is we need to review these calls. So this is what you're paying for. So we want to make sure that everyone is getting that feedback. So let's touch base with our service team and make sure that they're reviewing their calls. These are short calls. Some of them are I would say they're 3 to 6 minutes. They're not long, so it doesn't take long to review them. But if you guys can touch base with your service team, go over their call reviewing process. Basically, they just need to log into their account, pull up their calls, and then just click on the details, listen to the audio, type in the secret phrase at the end, and click submit. Pretty simple. And then, of course, they do have their own certifications when it comes to the service. If you have any questions, please feel free to call me. If you have questions about mystery shops, you can go directly to Maria. She'll be able to help you out with that. I'm happy to help too, but it might get done more quickly and clearly if you go to Maria. But yeah, if you have any questions, just give me a call, shoot me an email, shoot me a text. This is my cell phone number. I'm happy to help, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your week.